If you've not been to Scotland, you really need to come. As long as you don't mind rain. Starting off today at Balloch Castle Country Park. As you can see, it's a nice little car park. The way the spaces are laid out, it's a bit of a squeeze for a van this size if you're not going to get blocked in by cars parking alongside you. So I decided to leave it for today. There's loads of great walks that you can do from here, but I've no idea what the position is regarding overnight parking. So just coming out of Balloch towards the A82. Lomond Woods Caravan Park is just on the right hand side there. That's open all through the year. If you're a member of the Scottish Motorhomers and Caravanners Facebook group, you get a discount to stay at Lomond Woods. So we're coming out onto the A82, we're going to turn north and I'm going to go up the west side of Loch Lomond now. This is the more usual side that people tend to see. It's obviously being on the main road to the Western Highlands, there's a lot of passing traffic. I'm not going to stop at every lay-by and pull in, just some of the more interesting ones. With it being such a busy road, the lay-bys at the side are not particularly nice because the buffeting and noise from the traffic as it passes is quite unpleasant. Motorhome with a horse box. We're just coming up here, we've got to turn off for Duck Bay. We'll have a look in there. Very top end hotel, but unfortunately, tragically, was badly damaged by fire. There's a car park on the left there. It looks like I'm not going to be able to stop anywhere along here. Usually a line of vehicles parked up along the side of the road along here, but obviously with it being down to one lane, that's not possible at the moment. But just coming to the end of the roadworks now, it looks like I can pull over after all. Amber says it's not the quietest spot, as you've got a lot of passing traffic on the A82 there, but it does have a fabulous view across the loch from west to east this time. Certainly a decent enough stop to pull over and have a drink or something to eat. So Amber, what's for lunch? Bacon and tomatoes. Well, I've got the tomatoes out, and now for some bacon. Three bits of bacon and some tomatoes. Well, that's a bit too much tomato, but never mind. Bread and butter, Amber? I don't mind if I do. Better open the window for some ventilation. There we go. Delicious lunch with a view. lay-by there, only accessible from the southbound side. Nice lay-by there, takes you a little bit off the road, and another one on the other side. Well, I had hoped to pull into that lay-by there, but no such luck today. We'll just go up to the main car park. Welcome to Luss Conservation Village. It is quite a pretty village. It was the setting for the TV soap Take the High Road. There's a few quaint little shops. There's a smokehouse, there's pubs, restaurants, lovely cafes where you can have something to eat. Down at the pier you can get boat tours, and there's a ferry that runs across to the other side somewhere, I forget exactly where. Saying hello to the ducks, Amber. It says swimming at the pier. Not likely today, unless you're a swan. So leaving the pier behind, take a walk through the village, back to the van. Just down there is the Coach House coffee shop. Had a lovely cake and a drink in there last year when I came with my daughter. And on the left is Luss General Store. And there is the village hall and the smokehouse. And a bridge over the river. Let's go and have a look. Overnight parking of caravans prohibited. It doesn't say anything about motorhomes. After the car park, the next turn is the Camping and Caravan Club site at Luss. Just in there, it's closed at the moment for the winter season. My daughter stayed there at the end of the season last year and got a lovely lochside pitch. Obviously you're not guaranteed to get one right on the edge of the loch like she did. It just depends on the luck of the draw. But it was a lovely, lovely spot. Just coming up on the left is a really big parking area that takes you up above the road with great views over the loch. I didn't go up there today, but I've put up an image from Google Earth that shows you what it's like. Coolang guest house just going up on the right hand side. That used to be where the seaplane flew from. It now flies from Cameron House, which was back near Duck Bay where we stopped earlier. A few years ago I was lucky enough to get a flight on it, and we took off from there, flew around Loch Lomond, and then back into Glasgow to land on the River Clyde just by the Science Centre in the city centre. The seaplane is operated by Loch Lomond seaplanes. I'll put a link to their website in the description. Firkin Point. No caravans, no coaches, cars only. It's not a caravan and it's not a coach. Firkin Point, motorhome permit area. I'm at Firkin Point now, and so is Amber. This is actually one of the motorhome permit areas that you can book in the Loch Lomond and Trossachs camping management zone. So even between March and September, you can still stay here. It's a nice little spot. You can book online through their website. I'll put a link in the description, and it's not very expensive, it's just a few quid. There's public toilets here. Really nice area with picnic benches. Barbecues are allowed, just obviously not on the tables and benches. Keep them on the ground so they can't do any damage. Caution, deep water close offshore, so be careful if you go in the water. Somebody did tell me a while back that Loch Lomond is actually deeper than the North Sea. It's a really popular camping spot just here in the summer. This bit of shingly beach will be lined with tents. So Andy, what's this camping management zone that you keep talking about? If you watch my previous video from Aberfoyle to Stronachlacha in the Trossachs, I mentioned it in there. There are certain parts of Loch Lomond and Trossachs National Park that are designated as the camping management zone. Basically, it's the most popular spots along the edges of the lochs. And what that means is between March and September, you need a permit to be able to stay in any of these places. Luckily, this spot at Firkin Point is one of the places where you can stay with a motorhome, but you do need to book in advance on their website, and I'll put a link in the description. Can you imagine a much better spot than that for a picnic? This is Tarbet Pier. You can get boat cruises on the loch from here. You can see some of the boats moored up in the background over there. This is a photo I took from this spot in January last year using a Lensbaby Burnside 35 lens, which gives the soft focus effect around the edges. So Tarbet camping between March and September requires a permit, and it doesn't say anything about motorhomes, so you're probably not going to be able to stay in a motorhome here between March and September. But outside of them times, it's a cracking little spot. Elevated up above the road. Obviously you are going to get some road noise through the night from there. There's a path that leads out to the back of the spot. I've never been along there, so I don't know where that goes. It might offer some nice views. Another path leading up the hill there. Definitely somewhere I think I'm going to come back to. I'm going to put up now a few of the photos that I've taken down at the edge of the loch below this point. This one was taken in July 2 or 3 years ago. It was one of those lovely midsummer warm but overcast days. It was really tranquil. A complete change of season for the next two images. They were taken in January 2018. It had been snowing quite steadily earlier on in the day, but I managed to catch these two views just in between a couple of the snow showers. In this one, I love the way the surface texture of the loch looks almost like a piece of brushed aluminium. I think we just fit in one more stop before we have to call it a day. Just coming up to Loch Lomond Holiday Park on the right hand side. It's a handy site with some nice views across the loch, open all year round. I'll put a link in the description. Inveruglas just coming up in front. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. There's the viewpoint just there. Another spot with public toilets, although I don't know what times they're open between. You've even got your own swimming pool. Imagine if you parked there and it rained heavily through the night and you opened your door and stepped out into that. That's Inveruglas now. A nice pull in. It's got public toilets just round behind me there. And a nice walk up to the viewpoint. Just on the top of the headland. We go and have a look. Amber's exploring the puddle. Came here for the first time 2 or 3 months ago with my friend Joe. We got here just as the sun was rising and took a few pictures. I'll put one up for you to have a look at just now. You might have heard me mention it before, but I've got a photography website at www.andyhorphoto.com, and on there you can see a selection of my photos, and there's also prints for sale. So just behind me here, get it in picture, you should be able to see the viewpoint. So we can climb up there and have a look down the length of the loch. The viewpoint was designed with the aim of framing the view down the loch. Up the steps, right up to the top. They've even thoughtfully provided some binoculars as well. Look at that view. Superb. If you've not been to Scotland, you really need to come. As long as you don't mind rain. The daylight's fading a bit now, so I'm going to make this a last stop and head home. Hopefully get home in time for tea. So this section of road down the side of Loch Lomond gets a really bad press. A lot of people are quite worried about driving it. I find that as long as you keep your speed reasonable, that it's absolutely fine. It's a 50 mile an hour limit along here, and I tend to be generally doing somewhere between about 35 and 45. And I'm always thinking every bend that there's going to be a big lorry or a coach coming the other way. So just drive cautiously accordingly. Have you driven this stretch? What do you think about it? I've heard tales of people folding in the mirrors and things like that. You can also let me know in the comments if this isn't your worst nightmare of a road. Which road does give you the willies? We're coming back into Tarbet now. After Tarbet it's all fine again. There's a couple of bits just there where you can see the yellow and black markers where the road just pinches in a little bit. Back at Tarbet Pier. The motorhome that arrived before I left is still there. Looks like it could be there for the night. I wonder if you're watching this video. Leave me a comment if you are. I don't know what this turn off is. It's a dead end. Oh, it's access to somebody's house by the look of it. Okay, let's see if we can swing round. Just call me Austin Powers, I've got the teeth. Yeah, I reckon you could definitely pull in here. I don't see anything that says you can't. Oh, hang on a minute. Got a camping management zone sign there. Let's have another look. Yeah, so just the usual March to September. So I reckon outside of those times, you're good to go. Okay, so that's a nice big pull-in. A little bit sheltered from the road. Lorry driver obviously likes it too. So that's us just outside Inverbeg, running southbound. Yeah, lovely view there. Really open, not too many trees in the way. You can probably get down to the edge of the loch as well. It's a good one, I like that one. That's just the other side of Inverbeg. Another nice off the road one. Oh, this is great, look at this. If you've got a rear lounge, you could back into there. Fabulous view across the loch. But again, you're stuck with the times outside March to September. Somebody there obviously likes it too. I wonder if they're staying the night. Another one there, but it's quite closed in by trees. Not as nice as the last one, but it would do. So just looking at my trip meter, it's saying 23.7 miles per gallon on average since I filled up at the petrol station when we set out yesterday. That's pretty much average for this van since I got it. I tend to cruise at about 60 when I'm on dual carriageways and motorways. The miles per gallon does suffer a bit if you try and sit at 70. drops to around about 19, 20. So yeah, 23.7. So when I'm planning a journey, I usually work on an average of 25, which isn't far off. It's a nice easy calculation. Amber's asleep again. She loves coming away in the motorhome. She loves to be able to run around somewhere new and go and explore. So I'm heading home, hoping to be back home before 7 o'clock, because today's Wednesday, which is the day when I try to publish my Seeing Scotland in a Motorhome videos, and I've got one waiting to go out, but when I uploaded it I didn't put it on a schedule to be published for tonight, so I've got to manually click publish to make it public for everybody to see. So we'll see how we get on. There's no desperate rush. If I'm not home in time, well, I can always stop off on the way, and hopefully if I've got a signal, publish it from my phone, or if it's late, then it's late. It's one of them things. It's not the end of the world, and it's certainly not worth pushing it for. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you did, and remember to hit the notification icon so that you'll be notified of all my future videos when they come out. You can see the other videos in my Seeing Scotland in a Motorhome series by clicking on the links on the screen now.